Hi friends, it's Becky, and the beads were good again this week. It's been ups and downs, things that were just amazing and fantastic, and then things that were not so fantastic. And so I'll talk to you a little bit about that when we get back here. But this is probably going to be a little bit shorter of a wrap-up video just because I'm a little low energy. And I apologize for being so low energy about that. I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm sure some of you have seen like my posts and stuff like that. Just having to deal with things with the family, but I wanted to share what I made and do a wrap up with you. And also, thank everyone who sent me well wishes and who gave me so many thoughts and their energies for when we were dealing with a medical emergency. And it's just, the love was felt. The love was felt. I just want you to know that it was felt, and I appreciate it. But let's go down to the mat and see what I made. It's not a lot, but I still had fun making it, so I would like to share it with you. So I feel like it's kind of meager pickings this week for my finished projects and things that I've made. There are some things that I am sort of working on off screen that were in project kits and things, but I'm not finished with it yet, so I can't put it on here as things that I've made. But I'm trying to be kind to myself and not kicking myself for not being more productive, which is something that I'm feeling a little bit, but it's because I've had extenuating circumstances, and you know how I've told you, or I will go into more detail. Anyway, I'm having trouble getting my thoughts together as well. I did 2 different lives this week. The first was with Cassandra with Beads to Live By, and it was on the Beads to Live By Facebook page. I made this quick little bracelet. It's a part of a series that she did this week, Beading with Friends, doing last minute gifts. And so last minute gifts, things that are quick, I did a using some of these 2-hole beads and some of the checked glass beads that were in a bead mix that she sent from Beads to Live By. I made a memory wire cuff that is adjustable on size and can fit most wrists, and it was something that I was able to make this and 2 pairs of earrings all in the same hour. And I do have a similar video doing 2-hole beads with memory wire that I'll link in the description below in case you weren't able to catch it because you don't have a Facebook account or something like that. You can watch a similar technique in the video that I'm going to link in the description below, so you'll be able to still see how I made this, but it'll be in a little bit different one. I don't have a similar one for this earring set, although I could possibly make one this week, and I might do that for those friends of mine who weren't able to catch it and who aren't going to be able to catch it because they don't have a Facebook account. But I made these earrings and these earrings as well, using some of those beads in the Bead to Live By. And I love these moon earrings, these man in the moon earrings. These beads, they are fantastic, and if they are still available at the Beads to Live By website, I would go grab them if you could right now before they sell out. I don't know if they're still available, but I'll link in the description below to Beads to Live By so you can check out the shop and see what kind of beads they have. But that's what I made with Cassandra. And then in the middle of the week, I felt like doing some painting and making a bunch of earrings. Again, earrings are kind of a touchstone for me. It's something that I go back to because it helps clear my brain up and helps me, make things. And we can start with like really, really easy ones where you just put it on a bead on a head pin and you've got some earrings, and then add a little bit more, making a little link and adding it to your drop or your dangle, adding some bead caps to it, maybe making things a little bit fancier by adding a little bit of wire wrapping into the mix and doing things like this. And that's all of these earrings I made in the same video. So it was a multiple earring sort of thing. I think these are some of my favorites though. Look at that. I love being able to just wire wrap one of these coin beads to make it look even better than it was before. And then I also did a live with Amy Campbell, who is just amazing, and I love her so much. She is so creative, she is so funny, and I am definitely going to be doing more things with her. She's fantastic. If you are not following her, go subscribe to her channel. She makes things sometimes in a different style than I do, and she also uses some techniques that I don't. And so it's really great to have multiple sources of inspiration, not just from my channel but from hers as well. So go subscribe to her channel. It'll make you a better, well-rounded beader if you use both of us as inspiration, I think. But we unboxed some of our winnings from the Gemstone Orphanage adoption auction, and we also gave away one of the their new thing that they're doing with the naked babies. It's because the gemstone is the baby, and it comes undressed, without any of the other things, and then you can get a little dress up bag to dress it up. And so we gave some of those away to some of our viewers from Homestrung Jewelry. Are fantastic. We love Steve and Debbie utterly. And so we did that, but then on air we just did a little designing on the fly, and I decided to take one of my gemstones that I won from the adoption auction and make myself a little necklace really quickly using some of the dress up beads and the leather cord that came in the dress up bag, and just some wire that I added from my stash. Basically that's the only thing I added here was wire from my stash and a little bit of glue for these cord ends. Everything else came in the dress up bag with this bead, and it was just a fantastic time to visit, to chat, to make jokes, to gush about how much we love Gemstone Orphanage, and talk about the recent changes that they have made to that program, where they're not doing a subscription program anymore. They're going to be releasing the box, and it'll be first come first serve, which I think is great because so many people have been wanting to get their foot on the ladder, to get their foot in the door, you know, on the wait list forever and ever for the subscription. And this way it'll be like open to all, a little bit more of an equal footing. But they're also making a few changes too, where they're going to have 2 different price points for that. And that's I'm really grateful for that, because, like, you know, it might not be in your budget for the full-blown Gemstone Orphanage package, but it might be in your budget to get the lower priced one. It just comes with a fewer beads, a fewer of the other dress-up things, but you would still get the really beautiful and really gorgeous gemstone. And I love that they're making it more accessible for folks. That really is it's great. Again, I can't say enough good things about Gemstone Orphanage or Homestrung Jewelry or Steve and Debbie. Just cannot. It's impossible. Everything that I'm going to say about them is going to be nice because they're fantastic. But why don't we flip back up here and I'll try these on for you. You can see how they look on me. Again, this is another shorter video because I am a little low energy, understandably, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. Alright, so we're going to be putting on a lot of earrings real quick. And I'm just going to do one in each ear. I'm going to start with my holiday earrings. This was the single ornament. This was the ornament with some baubles above it. Then we've got our Santa. This is all with the Soft Flex design kit. Each of these, it was the Ugly Sweater design kit, which is, it's not a subscription. They release a new one every month, the design kits, but they are fantastic. They always come with really challenging pieces, as well as things that are easy for beginners to use and to make with. And I just, every time I opened up that design kit, I just kept thinking earrings. Earrings were what was calling to me to be able to make with. So when I sat down to do a painting and a watercolor and jewelry making thing, I just decided to make a whole bunch of earrings with that design kit. I still have a lot of beads left in it, and an idea for a necklace and maybe bracelet set. And do you know what I'm realizing? I did not, in my looking at the bead mat, I did not share my, where did it go? Literally just had it. I didn't share my painting that I made. My little poinsettia with that gold paint on the outside. I did this with beam paints. It was so much fun to make this while I was making these earrings. It's just one of my favorite things to do for y'all, to do jewelry plus art. And I know several of you have said that they're one of your favorite things for me to do. I appreciate that so much because it's not everybody's favorite. So, I don't always get as many views for them as I do for some of my just jewelry making art thing, or just jewelry making things. So for you to say that it's one of your favorites, it's something that encourages me to keep making them, even though they aren't the biggest view generator. It's something that I think people who enjoy it get a lot of satisfaction out of, and so do I. So do I. But then we've got our ones that I made on the live with Cassandra Spicer. And I always enjoy beading with Cassandra and using her beautiful beads from Beads to Live By. It's such a fun time, and she's just such a dynamic person. I really enjoy being able to spend time with her and being able to, you know, share some of my ideas with everyone. Bloop, 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 and here's the bracelet. I didn't do a lot of bracelets this time around, so I'm sorry if the reason you watch this is so you can watch me struggle with clasps. Not gonna happen this time. I mean, I can try to struggle with this one. This is the necklace that I made with the Gemstone Orphanage adoption auction find. This gemstone is like one of my favorite things. I mean, look at this painting behind me. How perfect does this go with that? It's just definitely a me thing. I love it. I love this, and it was so easy to make. Definitely watch the replay if you missed it on either my channel or Amy's channel when you do that. But you know, like I said, we had ups this week and we had a few downs, and my ups were doing my lives. My ups were painting and doing the jewelry making, and it was so much fun, actually. Like, I'm so happy and so grateful to our mutual friend Heather for getting us connected, for me and Amy, so that we can start making stuff together and having such a great time. You know, it's like often I sit here and I bead and I'm talking to y'all, but I feel like I'm talking to myself. So being able to do a live and having somebody else to bounce ideas off of and being able to watch what they're making at the same time, it's so worthwhile. Like, it's so much fun to do that. So I am glad that we did that, and you know, it's just scheduling for us to maybe work out a few other times for us to do it, or even to do it on a regular basis. We have been talking about that, but we don't have anything nailed down yet. So we will get there eventually. But yeah, and then Friday, I spent the entire day at the hospital. It was a very, very long day. I'm not going to go into a huge amount of details, but my brother who lives with me is, he came to me and he was like, something's not right. And he's the type of person who will just put up with or suffer through. Like, he has an old injury that he just deals with pain every day for. He just goes along, deals with it, because he doesn't want to be a bother. He doesn't want anybody fussing over him. I'm sure you know people like that in your life that are just like, it's fine, I'm fine. And they just, you know, bottle it up. And so for several weeks he had been just ignoring or just, you know, not wanting to bother anybody with the discomfort and pain that he was feeling. And it finally got bad enough that he was like, Becky, there's something wrong. And so when he says there's something wrong, that's when I know it's time to like put my shoes on, get him in the car, and get him to the hospital. So we did that. And he came and told me before I'd had a chance to eat anything that day. So it wasn't until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon that I actually finally was able to eat something. We were there like most of the night. I think we left around 11:30 at night, And then we had to drive out of our way to get to a pharmacy to pick up his meds. And I mean, he had some surgery, so he has some post-op instructions from the doctor that he needs to follow. And I stayed up making, because he needs to eat clear liquids and stuff, broth and jello, they said. And so I stayed up all night. I stayed up a little later after we got home, and he went to bed, and I made some jello, and I got some broth out of the cupboard to make sure he could see it. And when I got up the next day, he says, oh yeah, I woke up and I was hungry, so I had some chicken noodle soup. And like, I was like, oh, now I have to be like the mean Becky, because like I'm not going back to the hospital just because you interpreted broth as being chicken noodle soup, things that have chunks in it. So I was like, okay, clear liquids, clear liquids. This is what you can eat. But it's just for a couple of days, and then he can transition to regular food after that. But I was like, and I've always been the big sister. He's the older brother, but I'm the big sister because I've always been very intimidating to my siblings, my brothers at least, because I would tell them what to do. They would do it, because I was like, and so like, luckily, like the bullying or the small amount of yelling that I had to do yesterday convinced him, and he has been following the doctor's instructions, so good, I don't have to be mean anymore. But if I have to be mean to keep him out of the hospital, I'm gonna do it. It's just, that's how it is. But yeah, so I'm a little scattered. I'm a little, I luckily had some stuff that I could do. Unboxings are easy to do, so it doesn't take a lot of creativity and brain power. I wanted to make something last night, and then a headache just took over and I wasn't able to get to it. And I've been wanting to make something today, but I just can't focus on anything. And I think I need to also recover from the trauma of being in a hospital and having a family member going through surgery and all of that. And so I've been doing some like kit stuff, you know, off camera beading, but also just kind of relaxing my brain and letting it just not have to concentrate on anything. So that's what I've been doing today, yesterday and today. Hopefully this next week we'll get back to making some projects. I really want to do a jewelry set using the Snowflakes and Stardust, the Magic Mystery Bead box. There's so many beautiful beads in there, and I want to do a whole jewelry set with it. I have plans, but like, again, I can't concentrate on anything right now. So making that video today is not going to happen. It's just not. I'm gonna let myself recover from that, and get started on that probably next week. Also, my bargain bead box. Jeez, it still is. It might have been lost. It's probably lost because the last update I had for it was on the 10th of December in Dallas, which is 3 hours away from here. And it has been in transit to destination for 5 days for the location that is 3 hours away. So it's probably lost. Probably lost, but I can't notify them of it's being lost until tomorrow. That's the 6 day. If it's been missing for 6 days, they can do that. Fortunately, Bargain Bead Box has a fantastic customer service, and they also plan for this sort of thing to happen. So they set aside extras of the boxes for items that get lost in transit, for items that get damaged in transit, for people to be able to still get a bead box, even if it's a little bit later. So if it is not here, or if it hasn't like magically shown up at the post office or something tomorrow, I will reach out and I will see if I can get a replacement set. But what that means is that I'm probably going to be getting my companion bundle that I purchased before I get my bead box, which will be fun. I'll still open that up and make some stuff with y'all. But it's just it's funny that's the situation with all of these things. And you know what? It happens. It's not their fault. And you know, sometimes stuff just goes missing with the post office. They can keep tracking. They can make sure everything happens. Sometimes stuff just it falls off the conveyor belt, or it gets caught in the gears or something like that. It happens. It happens. I'm not mad about it. I think it's kind of funny at this point, but you gotta laugh, right? You gotta laugh. And I mean, ultimately, like, my beads not being here is like on the scale of like things to panic about. It's pretty low. It's pretty low, especially when we came real close to, major health things with family members just this weekend. Like, that's a little higher up on my like things to worry about scale. But if you are waiting for that unboxing from me, you might have to wait a little longer. But when I get the companion bundle, I will open that up and I will share it with you all, and maybe we will start making some stuff with it, because it looked really, really great. It was the first companion bundle that they offered. They had it listed for sale before all of the stuff had shipped out. So it was one of those sight unseen sort of things. They put a little spoiler photo on the listing so that you wouldn't see it. I think most people have probably gotten their boxes by now, unless they're international or something. Most people who are international, and me, still waiting, but that's fine, because you know what? I can still have fun. I have plenty of beads. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I have a lot of beads, so I've got more things to play around with and to make with. But yeah, it'll get here eventually. It will. I believe that. What else? I think there's something else that I wanted to talk about, but my brain isn't holding on to it. It's like slippery and ephemeral. It's just floating away. So I'm just gonna worry about that maybe later. It's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, I think, man, thank you to everybody for your love while I was going through what we're going through. And, I might be a little bit in and out while my family member is recovering still, because there was a major surgery, so we'll get there. I don't have any lives planned this coming week, so when I make stuff, that's when I make stuff, and when I upload it, that's when I upload it. There may be some late night beading, probably be some late night beading, because that's something that I like to do when things are going along in my life. And it's very possible that while I'm so like brain foggy and like, disorganized during the day, I may, right before bed or something, suddenly have a, hey, this is how we're going to make something. So I'm not saying I'm not going to make anything today. It might happen, but when it happens, it'll happen. It might not happen. I don't know yet. We're gonna work on it. We'll figure it out. But anyway, I hope you guys are also having a good weekend. Better weekend than I'd had. And yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go not be in front of a camera for a little bit, because again, I'm having trouble stringing sentences together. I think it's understandable, probably, but love y'all. I'll talk with you later. Happy beading.